the achievements and what do you think Bangladesh can take from this tournament?
Yeah, I think what we have to do is we have to acknowledge, you say there was a lot of expectation. Sometimes we wonder where the expectation comes from, because it's the first time we've ever got through to the Super 8s, which is a wonderful achievement from this group. So, yeah, what was anticipated before, I'm not sure what history that anticipation has come from, but what they have achieved has been fantastic. Yeah, we've lost 2 games against 2 very good teams, but I think we would be making a very big error if we didn't learn and understand why there is the gap between where we are and where the top teams are. And that's something that drives you forward. It's something that'll drive training. It'll something that'll drive our thinking as to what type of players we need to play T20. But one thing that is very, very obvious throughout this tournament, if you haven't got power, you can't compete. So it's all about power.
So my question is, how you will rate batsman's performance of this tournament? Bangladeshi batsman's performance of this tournament, how will you rate?
I think one thing you've got to look at is you can't just look at our batters alone. You've got to look at how much batters have struggled throughout the whole tournament. It's easy to just take something in isolation and say this is what's happened, but you've got to compare it to other groups too. So you have seen how difficult the wickets were in New York. You know, that St. Vincent wicket, not exactly easy. You know, these batters are working really, really hard at trying to find solutions to the problems that are being provided, and that's the same as all the batters. But I'll get back to the point I've just made, is that if you look at this Indian team, Rishabh Pant takes 10 balls to get in. He can do that very calmly because he knows he has enough power to catch up. Hardik did the same, Dubey did the same, because they've got power. At the end of the day, when they're ready to go, they can hit the ball 100 meters. So power is king, and power is the basis of T20 cricket. If you have power, then you can play a much, much calmer brand of cricket.
Don't you think after winning the toss, Bangladesh should bat first, especially today?
Do you know what the stats are at this? Do you know what the stats are at this ground for teams batting first and second? Okay.
Hi.
Sorry, you.
The thing is, you said Bangladesh have achieved many things from this tournament, and it's a fantastic result according to you. But my point is, since playing since 2007, the thing is, that time our target was to go to the second round, and still after so many years, after in 9th edition of this World Cup, T20 World Cup, still we are searching for the second round. So do you think it is overdue that Bangladesh will go to the next phase, you know, just not getting selected for the second round, maybe at least for semi-final?
I think what you have to look at, and I mean, I've been with the team for a year, you know, Hatu's been back for a year. I think the thing you need to look at is what has changed from 2007 to now. If Bangladesh is still doing the same thing they were doing in 2007, then it shouldn't be a surprise that they haven't moved forward. And the rest of the world has moved forward, therefore the gap has become bigger. So that's the question we need to be asking. What is different now to 2007? Not what we need to do. I'm telling you what we need to do. We need to find power from somewhere if you want to compete at T20 cricket. That's all around the world.
One more question from me. You are saying power is a big factor, particularly in this era of T20 cricket. It seems Bangladesh are lacking some power hitting. You have mentioned Rishabh Pant, Hardik Pandya, or Shivam Dube. So what's the solution? I mean, Bangladesh batters are really, they have some strokes in their hand, but in terms of power hitting, they are way behind. So what's the solution coming forward?
Look, I think one thing you've got to acknowledge is you can't fight genetics. So you have to have a genetic predisposition to power initially. I mean, we've seen what Rishabh can do. Rishabh has improved and come on since that New Zealand series to now. He has been unbelievable in how fast he has improved. You know, Tanzit Sakib, how fast he's improved. But power is something that takes a lot of time. You know, if you're not predisposed to being strong, you know, West Indians don't have to find power. They're born with power. You know, we're not born with power, so we have to do it a different way. You know, we're looking at the strength and conditioning element. We're looking at different things of how we can do it a Bangladeshi way. But when you look at a competition like the IPL, if you as a player want to be successful, you have no choice. You have to go and find it yourself. Because at the end of the day, each player is his own business. He's got to run his own business. He can't wait for other people to do it for him. So the IPL has created that, and it's created it around the world because all the players around the world now want to go to the IPL. You look at kids like Stubbs, for example. You know, he's a big kid, but he didn't play for South Africa before IPL. People saw the power, and it's worth money. So you come across, but power is king, and some people are born with it, some people aren't. But if you aren't, you can't say, well, I don't have it. We've got to find a way. We've got to find solutions here.
Last question. Okay.
Tell me about what is the last match?
We are talking about the last match Bangladesh playing against Afghanistan. Is there anything, our goal, what you said, we don't have the power, we can't guarantee that we can beat any other sides. Can we guarantee that we can beat Afghanistan or at least compete with the Afghanistan or something like that?
I think you make a better point in competing. I think in every single game of cricket that you play, you're looking to compete. And we absolutely will compete. We know that. We've had success against Afghanistan. We've played a lot of series against them. You know, that game of cricket is no different to any other game of cricket. When you put the Bangladeshi clothing on, when you put that badge on, you're representing your country. It's an honor to represent your country regardless of the game of cricket you're playing. So we have an advantage in that we've played 2 games of cricket at that ground already, and we have had success against Afghanistan in the past. So we're very much looking forward to that game and looking to finish the tournament on a high.